Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brielle. If this is your first time here, this is my favorite video to film every single month, so I could not be more excited to be doing another monthly reset. Today we are resetting for the month of November. I'm sure that you guys know how these videos go by this point, but basically we're going to be going over my goals from last month, setting new goals for this month. We're going to talk a little bit about my budgeting, spending, income, etc. I'm bringing back the monthly favorites segment. I love these videos. They're so motivating. They make me feel like I just have my shiz together, and I love watching these videos. So if you do enjoy this type of content, I make videos like this every single month. I make lots of other content around lifestyle, productivity, post-grad life, advice, personal development. We do a lot of stuff on this channel, so if any of that interests you, definitely make sure that you subscribe and stick around. Let's get into the first segment of this video, which is goal setting. We're gonna start by going over my October goals and seeing how I did with all of them. This is my Notion monthly goal setting page. I do want to do a complete Notion tour coming up soon, but if you've seen any of my resets, you're familiar with this page. We're gonna go into my October monthly page and see how I did. I'm very glad that I have this little motivating quote at the top. You are valuable regardless of your output, because considering how this month kind of went, I just think that's an important reminder. And by no means did I drop the ball this month. I did pretty good, but I did not accomplish a crazy amount. So it's always nice to remind myself that it's okay and I'm still doing good. Get 4,000 views on YouTube. That was my only social goal this month. I really wanted to strip back my social goals and not obsess so much about numbers and analytics, which is kind of ironic because I actually obsessed about analytics quite a lot this month, even though I tried not to over stress myself about social goals. Let's just see whether I hit the 4,000 views I wanted to in October. There's actually still a few days left in October, but we should be able to get a pretty good look at that. Let's see. So I am at a total of 4,400 views in October so far. So it is safe to say that I accomplished my get 4,000 views goal. By no means did I blow it out of the water, but I safely accomplished it, which I am happy with. Okay, so for my sort of monthly goals and priorities, what do I want to prioritize this month? I wanted to focus on getting 8 hours of sleep almost every night. No excuses. At the beginning of the month, I was doing a very good job with this. However, at the end of the month, I started getting into just, I don't know, I guess it was a fever of motivation, but it was not good because I was sacrificing sleep for a lot of different things. I was sacrificing sleep to feel like I had my shit together, to get a video up, to, prepare for a trip I had coming up. Instead of focusing on better time management and prioritizing the things that most urgently needed to be done, I fell into the mode that I kind of often fell into in college of like, screw it, I'll just stay up till 2 a.m., get all this done, and then I'll feel great about it tomorrow. And I never really feel great about it tomorrow, let's be honest. I also had my sister's wedding trip this month, which I didn't really account for in my goals. I mean, vacation and trips just kind of exist on their own, right? They're out of your routine. They feel kind of separate from like goals. But I did have my sister's wedding this month, and her wedding was actually in the morning, which meant that all of the bridesmaids had to get up in the middle of the night at like 2:30 a.m. in order to get our hair and makeup done, which was like pretty tough in terms of getting enough sleep. And I actually am kind of sick right now. I think because like last week I was just not getting good consistent sleep. Like I was running on fumes. So I'm not gonna count that as accomplished because I definitely threw it out the window as soon as I had reason to. So that's a no. But I still want to continue working on that because I know how important sleep is for my well-being. But it can just get really easy, especially since I am young and can, sort of take being sleep deprived, not as much as other people my age, but I can kind of take it. It's really easy for me to justify throwing it out the window to focus on something else like YouTube, like whatever it is, but I don't want to do that because my health is important, and without my health, I have nothing. So not gonna check that off. Exercise most days, I'm gonna check off. I did really good with this month. Obviously there were days I fell off. There were times that I wasn't exercising, but in general, I have set the tone for myself now that I am someone who usually exercises, and that has been a goal of mine for months, is just to like establish this habit or routine where I see myself as someone who goes to the gym. So that is like a huge win for me to now feel like I am like a fitness girl that exercises exercises regularly. Loving it, feel like it's doing wonders for my mental health, and super, super proud that I was able to integrate that because I never saw myself as someone who would be able to work out consistently, and it just feels really good to kind of prove that image of myself wrong and to show myself that I can do it. Be more consistent with singing practice. I would say that I did really well with this. I did a good job of not saving it till the last day before and integrating it earlier into my week as much as possible. It's not the easiest thing to do because obviously I can't really practice when my boyfriend is home. I have to wait for him to be out of the house. So that's a bit of a complication, but I would say in general, I did a really good job with this month, and I'm really proud of that because I have to continuously remind myself, like, singing is something I'm doing for myself personally. It is a personal goal, a personal passion. I think I need to rewire my brain from my childhood where I took piano lessons and I saw it very much as something I was doing for my teacher. Like, oh, I need to practice so that I don't disappoint my teacher, so that I don't get yelled at when I go to my lesson, etc., etc. It was all very focused around, this is something I have to do to please an authority figure, same way I felt about school and other things. And that made me resent it, not want to do it, feel anxious about practicing, etc. I'm trying to rewire my brain and reframe things now and remind myself that, hey, like, you're the one that wanted to sign up for these lessons. You practicing is for you. If you don't practice, that's on you. That only hurts you. And I don't need to put my instructor, like my teacher, on this pedestal of feeling like I need to practice to impress her or to not disappoint her. Instead, I should really focus on it as a personal journey, and she's just there to help me and guide me throughout like my personal singing journey. And it's all about me, and ultimately it all falls on me. So I'm really proud of the fact that I'm like making that shift and starting to not procrastinate with it as much anymore. My final goal, use only my Poshmark earnings on coffee. If you guys have seen any of my past monthly resets, I've talked to death about how I feel about spending money on coffee, how taboo it is, how it is actually one of my higher variable expenses. Not in terms of the amount I spend on it really, but in terms of the frequency. It's my most frequent expense, definitely, because I do like to get coffee out most days, I would say. So I set this goal for myself, and you know, I've tried to cut back on my coffee spending so many times. And at the end of the day, whenever I set a strict goal for myself like this, I end up feeling so much resentment and anger and just put myself in this really negative headspace of feeling lack, feeling like I don't have the money I want to have, just a lot of tension and resentment, and it's not a good feeling. And I actually think it makes me want to buy it more, and then it causes all this guilt when I do buy it. So it's just a lot of negativity. It's like the classic case of you want what you can't have, right? So if I set a rule for myself that I can only spend X amount of money on coffee, when I'm done with that money, I'm gonna have even more of a desire to go spend money on coffee. And because I'm thinking about it more, because I have this solid restriction, I'm more tempted. It's like, I feel like it has a net negative impact. So I didn't accomplish that, and I'm not gonna be setting that goal again. I hated it. It made me actually angry and spiteful, and I feel like it was just non-constructive because it just made me feel worse throughout the month. So that's a no. That's a no from me. It's going out the window and it's not getting checked off. So as you can probably see, I had about a 50% success rate with my goals last month. That's fine. That's about typical, and I'm not gonna beat myself up for it by any means. Now we get to set some fresh, new, lovely goals for the month of November. And my goals are going to definitely have a bit of a different focus this month. So let's go ahead and start off with our November plans. First things first, I'm obviously going to create a November page in my Notion, adding the little clip icon. I've been loving using these little paper clips on my Notion pages. Also, I broke out the big guns today. Normally, I just have a tiny little drink when I film these videos, but I brought out my giant Chamberlain coffee tumbler today because I wanted a huge chai. So I actually have a new month template which auto loads everything I add in a new month, which is really lovely. I remember being so proud when I figured out how to actually do that, because for the longest time, like, templates and just Notion in general was kind of a mystery to me. I could only do the bare basics, and I've really been upping my Notion game. So like I said, Notion tour coming soon, probably in the next few months. Let's go ahead and search for a new photo for November. I like to set a photo here that just kind of encapsulates what I want my month to feel like, to be like, the vibe that I want to have that month. Since I really want to be focused on my YouTube channel and just sort of like having a passion-filled month, that is really gonna be my theme, is like leaning into my passions and doing everything I can to maximize that like excited, passionate feeling in my month. That's kind of what I'm gonna search for my photo. So I'm trying to think how I could kind of encapsulate following your passions in a photo. Okay, I figured out what I want to do. So one of my favorite creators on this platform, Maddie Drasbeck, is somebody who I really see as somebody who like leads with passion. She's all about creating things she's passionate about, and she's a huge inspiration for me in terms of being a creator, becoming a creator. So I think I'm just gonna use a photo of her to really represent focusing on YouTube, focusing on being a creator, taking myself seriously as a content creator, taking my YouTube channel seriously, and also really leaning into my creativity and passion and kind of getting back in touch with that side of myself that's just like excited and wants to make things, wants to do things. So for some reason, this photo really stuck out to me. She just has this like intense look on her face, and I just want to be like balls to the wall, game on, like going at my goals and like my passions with a fucking, I don't know where I'm going with the sentence, but I feel like this photo encapsulates the badass energy that I want to approach my month with. Okay, just take my word for it, go with it, let's roll with it. For my quote, I'm gonna go with the very cliche, your dreams only work if you do. Just because I want to be motivated, I want to put in the time and effort. I want to get a ton of videos up this month that I'm really proud of. September was a super inspiring month for me in terms of what I was creating. October, I was like pretty happy with what I was creating, but November I really want to focus on, okay, what videos do I want to make? Don't focus too much on virality or catering to the algorithm, just like create from a genuine place while also being strategic. It's a balance because of course I'm trying to grow my channel, so I need to think about the strategy and I need to think about what's going to pull in a new audience, but I also don't want to sacrifice my personal vision for my channel and what I like for that. So it's a balance. YouTube and social goals, baby. I actually am really excited to set some YouTube and social goals. Like I said, last month I kind of chilled out with it because I didn't want to put too much pressure on myself, and after hitting 1,000 subscribers and getting monetized, I felt like I'd accomplished something huge, so I didn't want to rush off to the next milestone. And I still kind of feel that way, but also I'm feeling super motivated, and I just think it'd be fun to set some YouTube social goals. First goal that I really want to set is to upload 5+ videos. I'm really trying to increase my level of uploads, but in a sustainable way. I know that realistically, right now in my current situation, my current job, my current living situation, not living alone right now, I know that it's not realistic for me to upload twice a week every single week. However, I also don't want to just upload once a week because I know to grow, I need to start having more content being pushed out. So I think it's kind of a safe goal to try and upload 5+ videos. Because I upload my monthly resets on like Thursdays or Fridays typically, I don't upload them on my usual Tuesday type of schedule. I pretty much know that I'm going to guaranteed upload around 5 videos. And if there happens to be a week where I am able to push out another video, that'd be awesome. But I'm gonna aim for at least 5 uploads in the month of November. If I upload 5 videos, I will be content. A second goal. So based on the fact that I have 4,400 views in October right now, and there's like, I think like 5 more days in October when I'm filming this, I'm probably gonna get to 4.6, 4.7K by the end of the month. I'm trying to figure out what a good goal for next month would be because I had some videos do pretty well compared to my normal performance. In October, it was a pretty good month for me and I got some kind of unexpected views, I would say, but I also don't want to play it safe and just set a goal of 4K views. It's tough because even though I had some videos perform well in October, my overall channel has been struggling a bit. Like a lot of my older videos that were doing really well have kind of slowed down. So I'm just gonna set a goal of hitting 4.5K views on YouTube in November. It might be a bit of a stretch. I'm not sure. It honestly totally depends how my uploads do, but we're gonna go for it. In terms of subscriber goals, my subscribers are currently sitting at, let's see, I actually don't know. Okay, my current subscribers is 1,088. 1.1K I think would be a very safe goal to set. I would love to hit 1.15K, and I think that that's doable. So I think that that's the goal that we're going to go with. I honestly feel like maybe I could get to 1.2, but I would like to play it a little safer. So hit 1.15K subscribers. I'm trying to think if there's any other goals I want to set. I would love to continue growing my Instagram a little bit. My Instagram is kind of a weird situation. So my Instagram is primarily for my photography. If you don't know, I do photography. I'm well aware that growing my Instagram would help my photography career a lot, but it is hard. It is hard to grow on Instagram, especially because it is not realistic for me to be posting content every day. It just isn't. Like, that's kind of what it takes to grow on Instagram. And realistically, like, I'm doing like maybe a photo shoot a month right now because obviously a lot of my time is being taken up by the 9 to 5 that I have and doing YouTube. So I have like a couple posts a month maybe. I'm not by any means focused on Instagram at the moment. However, I would still love for it to be growing, right? But realistically, it's not really growing. So all of that is to say, I don't know whether I want to start setting Instagram related goals. I think that might be something that I do more of in 2023. 2023, right? It's 2022 right now? Is it 2022 right now? Yeah, it's 2022. Okay, that might be something that I do more of in 2023, but right now it's just not a priority. What do I want to prioritize this month? There are certain things in my life that I've noticed I do somewhat mindlessly, and I want to focus on bringing intentionality to those areas of my life. My camera battery is about to die. Hold on. Okay, we're back. Thank God I had some extra batteries charged, guys. I hope the camera didn't move too much. So one thing that I really noticed when I was in Disney World is that I was experiencing a lot of food regret and drink regret. Not like drinking like alcohol, but like coffee type drinks. Meaning I would often order something not fully wanting it and then end up regretting a lot of my choices of what I was choosing to eat or drink, ending up regretting getting something at all, you know, eating when I wasn't hungry, eating when I didn't really want something, overestimating my portions, just a lot of lack of intentionality with food and kind of mindlessly ordering, consuming whatever without really taking the time to think, hey, is this really what I want right now? Is this gonna make me feel good? I made a lot of decisions to eat foods that I know don't agree with me. Like, me and dairy and drinks don't get along. And there were several times where I went to order a drink and they didn't have oat milk, which is usually what I have in literally everything because my body loves it and I love it. But there were several times where I went to order a drink, they didn't have oat milk, and so I just got the dairy version, and every single time I regretted it because I felt like shit afterwards. My stomach hurt, I felt bloated, and I knew logically in my brain that my body does not like when I have regular like milk in a drink. Yet I chose to ignore that fact and ordered it anyway, impulsively in the moment, therefore setting me up for hours of being uncomfortable. So I just think that like if I am trying to treat myself with respect and like I am this high value person, which I made an entire girl talk video talking about this concept of viewing myself as high value. That video did really well, which I was not expecting, but that was really cool. If I want to treat myself as this high value person, I would not be freaking sabotaging my body by eating and drinking stuff that I know is going to make me feel like shit and then I'm going to regret as soon as I consume it. Like, that is not being kind to my future self. That is prioritizing instant gratification over my own well-being, and that is like the least self-respecting, high vibrational thing I could fucking do, right? So something I really want to prioritize this month is listening to hunger cues and thinking intentionally about what I put in my body. So meaning not eating for the sake of eating when I'm not hungry, just like mindlessly grabbing snacks. I really want to focus on eating when I'm hungry, allowing myself to feel hunger instead of constantly keeping myself full, because eating hits so much better when you're actually hungry. Like, it's such a great experience to eat when you're hungry. And not that I'm saying I'm gonna let myself get to the point where I'm like dying for food by any means, but like I want to wait for that cue to kind of hit and then to satisfy it rather than like constantly keeping myself in a state of being almost full. you know? And there's a balance there too, because I also sometimes have the tendency of waiting way too long to eat and getting distracted by other things, too focused on editing or something, that I am ignoring the fact that I'm hungry. So I don't want that either, because then I end up feeling weak and like I'm about to pass out. It's a balance, but I just want to like respect my body a little bit more and listen to what it's telling me instead of mindlessly shoving food in my face just because it's in the apartment or just because I'm somewhere where food is and it looks good, you know? And I also don't want to eat stuff that I know is going to make me feel like shit. I want to be super intentional about when and what I'm eating. So that's that. The next goal is that I want to be intentional about when and how much content I consume. I started being a lot better about this in October, but I want to keep it going. I've described how if I consume too much content, if I'm constantly listening to or watching other creators, if I'm spending too much time on Instagram, whatever it is, I just enter this brain fog state of information overload and overwhelm. I don't really enjoy the content I'm watching, but I also feel like I can't stop. I'm just in this like hazy, distracted state for the entire day, and I really want to fix that. And I think a huge aspect of that is cutting down on the amount of content that I consume. I went from feeling like I had nothing to watch in my subscription box because as soon as stuff was posted, I was watching it in like a split second, to now having like a buildup of like 15 videos in my saved videos downloads section of stuff that I want to watch that I haven't gotten to yet. And that's just a huge proof to me of like how much I was over consuming before, because I really felt like there was a lack of content and there was just not enough videos for me to watch. And now I feel like there's this like extreme amount of content from my creators that I watch just waiting for me, and it's proof to me that I'm consuming a lot less, and also that there is plenty of stuff to watch, but that it's not the end of the world if I don't watch it right away. If anything, it feels kind of good to know that I have like this whole catalog to choose from if I do want to intentionally watch a video. Kind of going off of that, another goal that I want to set is to have YouTube Studio deleted from my phone and only check it once a day maximum. This is gonna be tough, I'm not gonna lie to you. YouTube Studio is honestly probably what I check the most on my phone. It's not Instagram, it's not Twitter, I don't have Facebook. It's literally YouTube Studio, because it is like the ultimate slot machine, okay? They say most social media is like a slot machine. You know, you check it and you never know if there's gonna be likes or comments or new posts, whatever. YouTube Studio is really like a slot machine, because quite literally, you never know if you're gonna check it and there's gonna be like, you made money. Like it's literally a slot machine. You may have gotten extra views in the past hour. You may have seen money from yesterday like hit your account. It's super fun and it's super fascinating, and I love looking at my analytics, and I think it's fine in moderation, but when I'm checking it like every hour, several times an hour, there's nothing new for me to look at. It's just like an itch at this point. It's a compulsive thing that I check because I'm hoping there's gonna be something there. And I feel like it just results in me putting out this like desperate energy and this frustrated energy of just like wanting to see growth that isn't there. And I want to refocus on making content and the process of making content, like what type of content I want to make, like focusing on my personal brand, all of that more behind the scenes effort type of stuff, rather than just fixating on the results, the numbers, the revenue, etc. That's why I really wanted to set this goal and to just kind of keep YouTube Studio off my phone, keep it from constantly being on my mind, because I am always thinking about YouTube analytics, and it's not the healthiest thing in the world. I 100% let my mood be affected by whether or not my videos are doing well or not well at the moment, and that is not healthy, especially during months where my videos are not doing that well, or when an upload is like, you know, not performing as well as past videos. It just can get so mentally taxing, and if you make content, you know what I mean, but it's a lot. So I definitely want to get away from that this month. So those are 3 pretty chunky goals. I'm gonna really have to remind myself of these so that I don't forget them throughout the month. But yeah, I feel really good about those. I'm gonna carry over the exercise most days goal. That's just a goal that I want to keep top of mind until it really, really becomes second nature. And I think that's gonna be it. That seems pretty substantial. So those are my goals for this month. And based on those goals, I'm gonna set my areas of focus as YouTube and fitness. I feel really good about that. Love to see it. Okay, so that is it for the goal setting portion of this video. Now we're gonna jump over to my desk and take a look at my budget spreadsheet. I wanna talk to you guys about how much money I made, what my spending looked like, what I'm doing with the extra money that I have, stuff like that. So this is the spreadsheet that I have for October. I already filled out my income and expenses. We're gonna go through all of that quickly. My income this month looks absolutely off the charts. It is over $5,000 and it's $2,000 more than I had expected. And the reason for this is because I got a tax refund. I've explained this before, but I include any large chunks of money coming in my income summary, even if that's not really an income stream. So obviously my tax refund is not an income stream for me, but it is a chunk of money that came into my bank account. So I just have it thrown in with my income summary. My paychecks, one was lower than usual because I took some days off. One was higher than usual because I did a little bit of overtime. Poshmark was pretty low this month. It was actually lower than I expected, which doesn't often happen. I've been having quite a bit of a dry spell with Poshmark. If this is your first time here, basically I resell some of my old clothes on Poshmark. It's a really nice supplemental income stream that brings me money in every month. Quantities can definitely vary. Usually it's between like $50 and $150, but I've had months where I've made hundreds of dollars from Poshmark. It totally depends. If you're ever interested in checking out my Poshmark, shopping some of my old clothes, it's always linked in the description bar. So yeah, kind of a low month for Poshmark, but thankfully I had that tax refund coming in clutch. I also got refunded for some concert tickets that I ended up selling, so that was a nice little chunk of money in my pocket. And I made $35 from equipment rental. This is not a normal income stream for me either, but basically someone I went to college with wanted to borrow a camera that I own, and I said sure. She paid me $35 to borrow the camera. Now here we are. It did kind of get me thinking about whether that was something I wanted to do more of in the future. Renting out equipment could be a nice source of income, so definitely considering that. So my total income for the month with the tax refund included was $5,290.23. Nothing to sneeze at. I gotta say, that's quite a lot of money that went through my account. Expenses. I don't think it comes as any surprise that my expenses were a little bit higher than I had budgeted, especially because I did have a trip to Florida this month. So I was paying for Disney tickets, I was paying for food there. It just added a bit to my variable expenses for sure. I also had a really high month in terms of laundry. I guess I was doing more loads than usual, but it is what it is. Low month in terms of gas. I guess I only refilled my car once, which is nice. And over here, we have my expense tracker. So this is a breakdown of every single thing that I spent money on this month. I mean, it's not like I had a crazy amount of expenses this month. It all just kind of added up. It's nothing horrible. Like I said, I had Disney tickets in there. I bought a $58 hat. I went to this pop-up event for this brand in LA, which is run by people who are very much in the creative LA scene. So it was kind of a networking type of thing for me to go to this event, and definitely a good move for me socially, etc. So if I had to buy a $58 hat, it is what it is. And that's really cute. So it's fine. I did quite a bit more socializing than normal this month as well. I went out a lot at the beginning of the month. You know, I paid for a club entrance. I got monetized, so I threw myself a little celebration. So I bought champagne and a cake. You know, there was just like quite a bit of treating myself type of stuff this month, and I have no regrets. So that's the deal with that. But thanks to my lovely extra income from the tax refund, I still have quite a bit of money left over at the end of the month, which I am incredibly happy and grateful about. And what I'm going to put that towards is getting ahead on rent. This is something that I always knew that I wanted to do as soon as I received my tax refund, because I knew it was going to be about $2,000. I decided that I was going to put pretty much all of that money towards getting ahead on my rent. So that's the deal with that. I'm pretty happy with how this month went financially, considering I had a lot of fun and I did a lot of fun things. I'm really happy that I was still able to not dig into my tax refund too much and put the large majority of that money towards setting myself up for future success. So that feels really good. I feel like I've just been having the most random sources and streams of money the past few months, which is really nice. And I've also been consistently working overtime, which has definitely helped. So there's not really much to show in terms of setting up next month's budget, since I don't really budget by category anymore. So I'm not even gonna bother like setting up that spreadsheet now. I realistically only really do that at the end of the month. But if you guys are curious for my final spending breakdown, bills was 42.3%. That's my lovely rent. Expenses 20%. Savings 37.4%. That is my tax refund that's going towards getting ahead. So yeah, I feel really good about that. And without further ado, let's move on to my monthly favorites for this month. We're down on the floor. So I did this monthly favorites segment in my first monthly reset in September. I don't think I did it in October, but I really wanted to bring it back. So we're gonna talk about some of my favorites. First, I wanna start off with some actual like physical product favorites. So we're gonna talk about my makeup and hair favorites at the moment. And then we're gonna talk a little bit more about my favorite creators, movies, more like intangible stuff. So first things first, I want to tell you guys about my new favorite foundation. This is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. When I tell you that I love this, I love this. It is expensive and it definitely feels like luxurious. Like even like holding this bottle, I feel like fancy. But this shit works so well. It lasts really, really well. I was literally at my sister's wedding. We went out in Disney World for her bachelorette party. And at the end of the day, one of her friends was like, how does your makeup still look so good? It still looks perfect. Like, what are you using? And it's this. It's really good if your makeup tends to kind of separate or get oily throughout the day. And I just love how it kind of gives your skin this almost like satiny matte finish that just like feels soft and looks really good and clean. It's the perfect medium coverage. There's just so much that I love about it. So Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, get your paws on this if you can. I know it's going to be my go-to for a long ass time. Hair products, I actually have two. I've been going through it with my hair the last few months. I definitely like started being kind of neglectful and just using like whatever product I could get my hands on. I was using cheap products. I was just not putting the time and effort into actually researching and trying to find products my hair really likes. I was just kind of using whatever and getting really lazy, and my hair was definitely showing the results of that. Like my hair was dry, the ends looked horrible, like it did not look moisturized. It was just a whole thing. So in my attempt to start treating myself with more respect and viewing myself as important and high value and all of that, taking care of my appearance and putting more time, effort, and money into my appearance is a huge part of that. So I've really started refocusing on finding good hair products that my hair really reacts well to. And in that pursuit, I've found two that I really like so far. So this is the Infusium Shampoo Moisture and Replenish with avocado and olive oils. I love this. It feels and smells the most like a salon hair experience that I've ever witnessed with an at-home product, and it wasn't even that expensive. I got this giant bottle on Amazon for a pretty affordable price. I read in the reviews and comments, which were all very positive, that this shampoo did give people like that salon effect, and that's why I was really excited to try it, and I've really been impressed so far. It smells amazing, makes my hair feel really clean but not overly stripped. It's amazing. I 100% am going to be trying out the coordinating conditioner, and I'll have the Amazon links for this and everything else I mentioned down below. Next hair product is actually one that I have been stealing off my boyfriend. I never thought that the day would come where I would be showing a Garnier Fructis hair product or using a Garnier Fructis hair product. I feel like this is just one of those brands that I've always written off as just being cheap and like not good. This shit works really well. It's the Garnier Fructis Pure Clean Finishing Paste, 24-hour definition and hold, and it makes my hair actually soft, which is quite a feat because in general my hair really does not like products that you add once it's dry. Like it's really hard to find like a mousse or a oil or anything like that that my hair reacts well to. In general, when you put like hairspray or like finishing product in my hair, it frizzes up like crazy and gets really knotty. Like my hair just doesn't like that shit. It just doesn't. And I have like kind of thick, naturally curly hair. So the fact that this product actually I can add in when my hair is dry and it makes it a little softer and look a little better is like unheard of. Like I said, stole this off my boyfriend. Will definitely be buying it for myself when he moves out and I can't steal it from him anymore. So that's it in terms of like physical favorites. Now let's talk about my favorite movie of the month. I only saw one movie this month, so naturally it's gonna be my favorite. There's really no choice, but the movie that I saw was Don't Worry Darling. I believe that was in October. I know a lot of people did not like this movie. I really enjoyed it. By no means is it a perfect movie. There's definitely some things they could have done better. I feel like they could have explained more, shown more of the backstory after the big reveal. Like I wanted more information, and I feel like they really drew out the middle of the movie for sure. But overall, I found it really enjoyable, and I think because I went into the movie with absolutely zero knowledge about what it was about, like none, it made it a much more enjoyable and exciting experience because like the reveal was actually shocking, and so I actually felt like I was submerged in the story and getting pulled by the twists and turns. And I guess I could understand how if you already knew about the reveal, maybe it wasn't as engaging. I'm a big fan of going into movies blind. I think it makes them so much more enjoyable. And I just thought the concept was fun and cool and different from what I've seen before. So I would give her a solid 7 stars out of 10. Also, I think people are clowning on Harry's acting just because they want to see him as a bad actor. Was he the best actor in the whole movie? Like, probably not, but I don't think he stood out as being particularly horrible by any means. Like, for somebody who's not really had any acting experience, I thought he did really well. I don't know. I think people are just being hard on him because of course he's Harry freaking Styles. Like, everyone's expectations for him are through the roof, and to find something that he's not amazing at is like everyone's dream, right? To kind of cling on to that. But I think he did fine. I don't know. I think we're a little too harsh on people who try to break into different industries than their own. Like, our culture has such a heavy stay in your lane type of vibe that I think is honestly toxic. Like, people should be encouraged to experiment and branch out and try different things and different roles. And last but not least, my favorite creator of the month. This is no contest. It's gotta be Alexis Eldridge. Don't know exactly when I discovered her. Maybe it was a couple months ago, but ever since I found her channel, I've been utterly obsessed. She is primarily a lifestyle YouTuber who lives in New York City. She does a lot of vlogs, but she also does like monthly plan with me's, and she makes a lot of apartment related videos. She makes some videos about like YouTube and YouTube analytics. I just love her channel. I love how she has like a cohesive vibe and editing style. Her videos always feel comforting and just like luxurious to watch. I don't know how to explain it, but she's been my recent obsession, and it also feels really cool and exciting to find a creator in such early stages. I don't think I've ever really been obsessed with a creator as small as she is. I think she's around 15K subscribers right now, but she was probably like under 10K when I first found her channel. So yeah, that is hands down my favorite creator of the month, and it feels really good to be finding new creators I'm excited about after really being in a slump in terms of YouTube for a while, where I felt like I was kind of sick of all of my favorite creators. I wasn't finding anyone new. It can be really like hard to kind of get into a new creator because once you get attached to a creator, like obviously you want to see all their videos, but when it's someone you don't know, it's a lot harder to break through that initial barrier and start consuming someone's content for the first time. It's kind of like starting a new TV show versus watching your comfort show. Like, it's a lot easier to just start watching your comfort show again, right? So I would just go back and rewatch videos from creators I loved, but it was getting really dull. It was getting dry, and I wanted some people that were new to watch and have something fresh on my feed. So finding creators like Alexis in the past couple months has been really exciting for me as a viewer, to just kind of feel like I have some fresh faces on my feed and new people to look forward to their videos versus creators that I used to be obsessed with who just like don't hit the same for me anymore. So yeah, I guess that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and definitely leave a comment down below. I respond to every single one of my comments. I love chatting with you guys down there. I literally get so much joy out of when you guys leave like paragraph comments, like specifically responding to something in the video. Like, that fills my heart up so much, and I feel like we can actually have a conversation about like some shared interest. So definitely like comment on this. If you're usually a silent viewer, leave me a comment. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for your support over the past few months. So excited to keep just like hitting the ground running with YouTube and growing my channel. So thank you if you have been a part of that. I hope you have an amazing November. Let me know your goals for the month, what your priorities are down in the comments. I'm sure this video is so freaking long, so if you stuck around, thank you. I love you. Bye guys.
Yeah, his baby said that they don't got a future like it burns. So give him something worse to kill his head with, make him forget somehow. Might be that another day she would have wished he stayed, but they're done.